We are back here at Thompson Street Customs in Denver, Colorado to give you a little bit of an update on the fabulous Kendall Custom, that 1967 Shelby GT500 that Robert Thompson Sr. and Jr., better known as Cope, doing an outstanding job on what we think is going to be a totally off-the-hook resto mod. A lot has happened since we saw you last time, so we're going to bring you up to date. But right now, we're going to go into the shop and introduce you to our special guest joining us out here at Thompson Street Customs today. Well, you may recognize her if you've seen her YouTube channel, Flying Sparks Garage, or maybe on Motor Trend, Live, Love, Wrench. It is Emily, and what do you think of the Kendall Custom?
I just shot a full episode on this, doing an entire walk around with the guys. This car is incredible. I've seen a lot of custom one-off cars that, every panel has been modified, but to see it in this shape at this point of the build is so cool, because instead of just seeing it done where it's just breathtaking, you're getting to see how much time and man hours are put into every element.
And I've been here since day one, and when this whole thing started, there's the body over there, the chassis over there, oh, there's a few parts over there, and now, as time goes on, you begin to see how the construction has led to what we have. Still a lot of work to go, obviously, and you work on cars. How meticulous is the workmanship? Oh my goodness,
it's incredible. So we don't build highly amazing stuff like this. We do engine swaps and suspension stuff and just get old stuff with modern technology. We don't do it to this extreme. I have actually never seen a Roadster Shop chassis raw like this, and it's really cool to see before it's all finished out and painted.
You can see that there's been a lot of really very fastidious construction here.
These guys are going to be excited to see the update to the interior, because that was something when I walked up to that, I'm like, oh my goodness, I have never seen an interior on a Mustang that just wrapped around like that. It's just on another level gorgeous.
And we should talk about the engine too, the twin turbo Coyote crate motor that will put out over 1,000 horsepower. How much is the most horsepower you've ever driven in a car?
That's a great question. I guess it would be my GTO, which Roxy has 525 to the back tire, so it's literally half of the power that this car will have, but it's too much. I can only fit a 275 under the car, and I've never ran it with drag radials or actually gripped, but it's slip and slide. I mean, I know they're gonna put a tire underneath this car, but it's still,
In fact,
oh my God.
I told Robert Sr. and Jr. that one thing they need to put in the car is a defibrillator, because the first time you punch that throttle, you're gonna have cardiac arrest, yeah. But we're excited about the car, obviously.
Yes.
And it will be unveiled later this year, and we'll be giving you updates about that as well. Before we talk to Robert Thompson Sr. and Robert Thompson Jr., who we call Cope, let's give you a little update as to how this project advanced from concept to where the car sits right now. Drawings were made, the designs were made, what the car was going to look like, what kind of accessories it would have, the power plant, etc. Then the Dynacorn Mustang body, that was mated to the chassis, and from there, a lot of fabrication work, getting the body panels on this car to line up very true. And then going to the interior, and then putting the engine in the car, and then deciding what the engine would have. So it has been a deliberate process all the way through. And now we get to ask you guys, what has it been like working on this car so far?
I think it's been fun. It's gave us an opportunity to push the limits on a few things that we've been wanting to do.
On a project like this, you had to have run into some challenges that you didn't expect. Can you tell us about at least one of them?
Oh, there's many. I mean, lots of them. Just like you were saying, lining up all the doors, fenders, everything's got to be perfect on the car. Taking the motor in and out, taking the wheels and tires off numerous times.
Everything's in the mock-up stage. So now everything has to start getting welded in place. We have to start doing inner fender welds. We've had to make adjustments to the braking system because the way the turbos are set up, there's no room for a master cylinder. We've done a lot to the engine bay. We've remade the whole radiator support. We made the rear back panel where the taillights go. We made the panel that goes around the exhaust. Rear section of the spoiler's been completely reshaped. There's a lot of challenges. When you change one thing, you change like 10 other things. Like he said, we've had a lot of challenges with the body because, the original body again, back in the 67, they didn't care so much about the gap size. We do, so getting everything to fit, adding some metal there, cutting things, lengthening it, shortening it, all just to make the gaps fit correctly. But that's what takes time, and that's where the quality comes from.
And now that it looks like a car, the interior beautifully fabricated, the dashboard, the console, the tin work, the floor pans, are you guys beginning to get a little excited now because the vision of what the finished product is going to be is kind of coming into focus?
Yeah, definitely. I think the way that Eddie from Eddie's Rods and Customs out in Pueblo, the way he came out and did everything on the interior, it's completely different than what we first were gonna do. You know, the first drawing was sort of based off a factory Mustang in upholstery. We just figured, why not make it, you know, really cool, make it feel like you're in the cockpit of a fighter jet, or, you know, like you're in a sports car. I mean, the drive shaft tunnel and the transmission and all that, that set is sitting up so much higher than factory, it's almost hard to even try to make it look like a normal Mustang. So you have to incorporate something to where it doesn't look like an afterthought, you just want it to all organically flow.
Just the inside, the fabrication, the welding on the dashboard, the console, the tin work on the floor, or the transmission tunnel.
I mean, it's all done by hand. You know, you get one side perfect, then you got the hard part, making the other side match. So, you know, there's a lot that goes into it, you know, and then again, like you said, you're tacking everything in, you're grinding it, then you move your weld over just a little bit more, tack that, and you just keep going and going and going until it comes out the way it's coming out, and it's looking great.
Well, look at me. I'm getting the first ride in the Kendall Custom. Well, there's a lot of work yet to come, and we'll be updating you in our next episode of the Titanium Garage. See you then.